our second home. We come to conquer, no we never walk alone. We dominate, the cream of the crop, drawing on our strength from the roar of the cock. It's all for one, and one for all. Pass a new, we're talking total football. Here we go again, Roy's red machine. Liverpool, the greatest team the world has ever seen.
Hello and welcome back to the Liverpool Groove. As you can see, I'm once again joined by Neil. But Neil, do you know who this is? I haven't got it. Who's this?
What, the guy at the bottom?
Yeah, don't know who that is.
Oh, I don't know. I just thought it was like an extra or something like that.
Chesney's back, baby.
Yeah, it's nice to see you back, mate.
Yeah, good to have you back. Good to have you back. Fucking let's just get into it. I mean, Norwich. Where am I going? We've played Norwich since we last done one as well. But Leeds. The performance was just out of this world. It was fucking absolutely sensational. Exactly what we needed to put out there to let City know that we're really fucking breathing down the necks. And as I say, it was exactly everything we hoped it would be. So, Jay, I know you went the game. What was it like in the ground itself?
It had a feeling about it. When it was a bit nervy, and then we got the penalty and we scored, and then it was like a training session from then on. And all they scored 1 or 2-0, I think, an offside goal. And again, we were like, these can cut you open if they try. So let's put it to bed. I think a 3-0 Fabinho missed. And even then, a 3-0 up, we were all a little bit like, let's get the fourth. Yeah. Let's make sure we seal it. And then I was just counting the goal difference then. That's all I was looking at. Before the game, I met a few lads before it, and they were all overly confident. And it's usually me saying 4-5, 6-0. And I never said, and you know what, I can feel this being stress because it's that important of a game. I can just feel it being stressful, and we just took the piss. It was brilliant. It was. The atmosphere throughout the game, the cop was starting songs. The last few games I've been to, it's been the Annie Road. I've been egging the cop on to join us, and the cop was magnificent yesterday. Like, they were screaming. I could hear one fella on his own start everything from the Annie Road. He started everything in the car and it just went up. And then after it, like the Chelsea semi-final, after it, everyone's in it's like a ghost town. Everyone's in shock. There's this special feeling about.
Yeah. And
I had that when Klopp went to the car. I had that feeling. I got emotional and I thought, you know what, it's fucking on this. This is on.
Yeah. It's got a great feeling at the moment. I think what you're saying about the atmosphere, I mean, I've kind of not slated it, but I had questions about it the last few games. But I think you don't really sense it as much when you're watching it on the telly now. Neil, I don't know if you went or if you watched it last night, but what was your opinion on the atmosphere if you watched it on telly?
Well, I did on my group the last couple of games. I've actually been a bit of a critic of Anfield's atmosphere because I think it's been not great over the last few games. And Leeds was different. It was totally different. Obviously, living so close to the stadium, previous games, I've opened my windows. I couldn't even hear it's like there wasn't even a game on, but you could hear this. You could hear, obviously, Leeds United and stuff like that. But I watched the game I streamed it on His Goal, so I watched it perfectly well. And I was just blown away by Liverpool's opening 20 minutes. It was just out of this world. I mean, just literally the chasing and hassling of I think the amount of times we won it back in the final third was incredible in the first 20 minutes. Curtis Jones as well put in a good shift. I know we gave the ball away a few times, but he actually won the ball back, pressing quite a lot. But I was so impressed with Diaz. I mean, he was out of this world. The atmosphere sounded great again. What I mean by the atmosphere, when we were watching the games on TV for the previous couple, you were looking at it was like a still shot, like the Kenny Dalglish stand. It was like everybody was just sat like that. There was no jumping. And I was like, you're at Anfield. And I put on my group, I said, if you're supposed to be there to get behind the lads. There was not even any swinging of the arms when the ball was going for a throw-in. Because what happens is you start getting the fans that are going now that can sometimes just be expecting Liverpool to just turn up and win. And sometimes you need that 12th man. You need them to really pick you up. And I think that the Scousers knew that. That's why they did the coach welcome. They only save that for games where they know Liverpool need that 12th man. And it's easy now looking back to say 6-0. Oh, well, they didn't really need the fans. they did. And
Yeah.
because that's the reason why Liverpool started so quickly off the blocks, because of the atmosphere. And if you notice in the previous couple of games where the atmosphere has been quite flat, Liverpool, it's took time to get going.
Yeah.
And that shows you that the fans have a massive part to play in terms of that. So I was made up from what I got to watch. What I seen was just an absolutely unbelievable performance from start to finish. It was incredible. And it was the type of performance that I looked at going, special things happening in a few months' time. That's what I've seen of it.
Yeah, like you both said, it was fantastic. It, like you say, exactly what we needed. City, if they didn't know the pressure was on them before last night, they know it now.
Oh yeah,
absolutely no question about it.
What you're saying, Neil, about the atmosphere and that, and I agree. I think I felt like we needed to go behind against Norwich for us to kick in.
Yeah, that was so true.
We went behind, the fans went up a notch, and then the team went up 2 notches, and that's the difference with us and other fans, though. When we do go behind, they get behind the team. We don't try and do.
That is so true.
And it's when you need the fans.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. That's Liverpool when they're at the best. That's weird how you just said that, actually, Jay, because I was actually working in Manchester for AFC Liverpool, and my mate had the game against Norwich streamed on his phone, and he goes, look, and you could hear it coming through his phone when it went 1-0 to Norwich. He showed me it, and I said, Liverpool will come back. He said, Anfield sounds like, remember when we played West Brom a few years ago when we were 2-0 down, and the famous thing with we have a knack for that. But the fans need to understand now, the ones that are going, is Liverpool need now to push Man City all the way. They're going to need now, I'd say, against Leeds. That not a coach welcoming every home game, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's at least a couple, because we need now to see this team over the line, and because they deserve it. And the atmosphere, I mean, you can see Klopp as well in the last couple of games. Do you know why he did the most fist pumps he's ever done? He did 6, didn't he, in this game against Leeds? I think it was because he was back. He goes, that's the Anfield I love. If you actually watch his demeanour in the previous games, he looked frustrated by the lack of atmosphere, because Klopp, his face shows everything. He's like, what's going on here? You can tell he wants Anfield to be at its best. And like Jay just said there, when we go down 1-0, Anfield then starts to panic. And I think that's what it is. It's comfortability. Our fans presume will just roll everybody over. So then they go, oh shit. And because there was only half an hour left, they knew that they had to get right behind the lads. If they do that from the first minute, results like Leeds United will come more often.
Definitely.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I put on Twitter yesterday, we needed it to be like Chelsea 05, like you said, like Barca in 2019. Then we needed to treat it like a European night as fans, and we got that, and the team repaid that. I'm glad you brought up Curtis Jones on here, because he's one I wanted to pick out. I thought he did have a decent game, but for me, I don't know. I'm starting to see he wants too much time on the ball, and that's why he loses it a lot. He's not as quick. He's not as not necessarily dynamic, but he's not as quick on the ball as your Thiago or even your Henderson. He dallies on the ball a bit too much for me.
What I'll say is, we discussed him before the game, and there was a lad who was saying he's the player now that he's waiting for him to excel, and he doesn't think he is. Yesterday, I thought he had a rough first 15 minutes where he gave the ball away a lot, and then he got a grip on the game. He understood how much time he had on the ball, when he could do turns, when he could shield. I thought he was absolutely brilliant yesterday for 60.
It could be one of those where you're watching him lose the ball and you think, that's different. You got to let people forget that it takes time to get back into the swing of things. I mean, he's been out quite a while. So to come back in and start, and let's not forget, he's not even built up an understanding. If you look at all the best midfielders there is, they all know, they're all playing. Like when we had Ronaldo and Henderson and Fabinho, they know each other's game inside out. Curtis, frustratingly, doesn't seem to be able to stay fit long enough to sort of fight for a first team place. But what I seen was his tenacity to chase down every lost cause, and he won the ball back on a few occasions, which led for us going on. I mean, that's just the Klopp Liverpool team. But all it is with Curtis Jones, I think he'd benefit from a season-long loan out next season to a Premier League club. I really do. I mean, just to get him minutes to play every week, because I think he'll struggle now. And I read a piece yesterday about him, and it was saying that he's actually now, Klopp's saying he's now struggling to even make the bench. Now, if that's the case, because if you think now you've got Thiago, Fabinho, Henderson, Harvey Elliott, Milner, so there's 5 central midfielders. Oxlade-Chamberlain's now 6. And now Diaz has come. You can't really use him on the left or the right side of the free like he's played a few times because Diaz is now pushing. You've obviously got Bobby Knight injured. But I actually think that if he tails off now, like Jay just said, there, he's waiting for him to either like burst on and get really good or not. Maybe he just needs a loan. Maybe to say Fulham come up and we get this kid for Cavallo, give them to Fulham for on loan to Fulham for the season or something like that. Because what I'm saying is the only way he's going to burst at the age of 20 is by playing every week. And I don't think he gets in that midfield, mate. Do you? I mean, I don't.
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment. And that's it. It's a waste.
Don't get me wrong. I'd select him before the likes of Oxen at the minute. I think he looks desperate to do something, and it's going against him. Yeah. He looks too desperate to do something good. Naby Keita on his day is brilliant, but again,
even another one there,
getting niggles. So I think that there's 3 or 4 within the same bracket. Milner, hope he signs a contract. He's a fucking model professional and still does a job for us.
It's amazing.
But yeah, I agree. Curtis Jones to get in the Liverpool side, he has to go out and do what Harvey Elliott done. Go on loan.
Yeah, 42 games in the Championship. Yeah.
To a point where we're going, fucking can't wait to get him back.
Yeah.
That's what we've done with Elliott. So, yeah, I agree.
Well, it's like this, Jay. He's 20 years old. So even if, Barca do it, Real Madrid do it, even if he goes and has 2 seasons out on loan, Thiago's going to be in his late mid-30s or 34, 33, 34. Hendo's going to be in his mid-30s. So then there's 2 central positions that are going to be sort of going soon, and then he comes back into a Liverpool squad which needs central midfielders. What I'm saying is, for this 2-year period, you don't want him developing on the bench and playing 23 football.
No, I agree with both of you. And yeah, alone would definitely do wonders.
I just think with the way Klopp is actually, he's rotating at the minute. He's able to rotate, and it's good because he's managing certain players that do get injured, the likes of Thiago, the likes of Ox. He's putting them in 20 minutes here and there, then he's starting them. And I think the man management of the team's been brilliant. So saying that, obviously, see how he goes this season, Jones. He might push on. He might get another 10 games this season, full 90 minutes or whatever. And we might go, yeah, he's a good asset to have going forward. But if not, if he's not getting a good couple, 6, 7, 8, 9, 90 minutes, then it'd be time to look at letting him go on loan, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And like you say, I think there's no doubting his talent on the ball. He's so confident with it, which is, I think, part of the problem a little bit, is that he is so confident that he thinks he has got all the time in the world. And yeah, he learned his lesson last night. I think he's lucky that it was against someone like Leeds. Against, if it was Sunday, for instance, he wouldn't have got away with that as often as he did. So that's what he's got to learn. Another one I want to mention, because he was getting a lot of stick for a couple of months early, and he's fucking come back as good as ever, is Jordan Henderson, the captain. He's been fucking brilliant the last few games when he come on. I think who did he come on against? Was it I can't remember which game he come on. The subs have been the subs.
Come on against Norwich, didn't he?
Was it Norwich he come on against? Yeah, I wasn't sure because we made subs against Inter as well, didn't we? Yeah. But, but he's just been fantastic the last few games, and he's another one again. He's just proven his doubters wrong. Yeah, he had a bit of a dip in form. What player doesn't? But I mean, the way he's come back has been unbelievable.
I just don't get the haters of him. It baffles me. I think he's been brilliant. He's at, what did he have, like 3 games? Over like a 10-game period. He had a few bad games, and that was it. He grabs the game by scruff of neck. His vision to play a pass that not many others would play. Like that ball to Diaz was Gerrard to Torres-esque against Norwich. It was fucking brilliant. He's seen it straight away. He's believed in it. He's played it through. It looks dead simple on the telly. It looks like a piece of piss, but it's angling your body to get that ball where he needs to get it. He's a fucking ideal captain. I said that last season. He's more than filled Gerrard's boots. Not in ability, but in what he does, with the way he drags this team over the line time and time again in big games. He's filled Gerrard's boots. So you've got fans that they have to criticise somebody, and Endo's an easy target because he's trying to fill Gerrard's boots.
Yeah.
But I don't. He's not a Steven Gerrard as a player. But don't get me wrong. In his game, he's dynamic. He can play the Fabinho role. He can play the Thiago role. At times, you could even play the fucking Firmino role where he's behind the strikers. He can play fullback. He does everything. He covers every blade of grass, and I haven't got an issue with him. I think he's brilliant.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's all these fans you see. Don't get me wrong, I think it's mainly on Twitter. All these like sort of fans who've jumped on the last few years who just think, oh, Liverpool have always got to be successful. You know, the glory hunters, it's them, and they don't like him because the Reds who fucking go the game every week love him, and I think that's part of it. But again, there's no denying he had a bit of a dip in form, but you can never count him out. He's been there too long. He's Liverpool through and through now, and he's fucking unbelievable. I love him. Give him a lifetime contract. Who else? I'm trying to think who else impressed. Joel Matip, fucking hell, scored. He finally scored at one of his runs. I was fucking buzzing for him.
Yeah, Matip played well. Can you hear me all right, boys? Because I lost sound for a couple of minutes there.
Yeah, all good.
Yeah, I've had to take my headset off because it malfunctioned, so I've just gone onto my general webcam sound. So sorry about that. Yeah, I thought Matip had a great game, but I was impressed with, I think, nearly every player. Alisson had a dodgy first 10 minutes. You know, got away with one, didn't he? But
I said in the ground, I'm fucking made up Callum to start on Sunday.
Well, do you know what? I think I can't remember who said it the other day, but someone said that Alisson does have mad moments every few games, but that's because he's an eccentric goalkeeper. But let's not forget his amazing assist for Salah's goal against Norwich. So you just take the rough with a smooth. He's more or less, for those that play Football Manager watching this, he's a sweeper keeper. That's exactly what he is. He's like an extra centre half that just plays, and that's why you'll always get them moments when. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the Brazil game the other week where he got sent off twice. I mean, that was mad for 2 flying kicks in the head, but they both got rescinded by VAR, both red cards. He got a yellow for one and not for the other. So it was madness, but that's just how he is. But yeah, I just think, I mean, what's amazing is I don't think enough is being said about this at the moment, is Klopp's rotation and how it is not even making Liverpool look any different. If Konate plays, he does great. If Matip plays, he does great. If Robbo plays, he's great. If Kostas plays, he's great. I mean, it's as if it's like round pegs in round holes. Every single player in that squad does a job. Diaz, I'm going to keep mentioning Diaz. It's like Klopp has just literally. It's like he's got a computer of everybody that plays his way and he just goes and signs them. Because I can't understand how we can sign. I mean, can you imagine being a Man United fan or a Chelsea fan and you're sitting here counting down the fucking days thinking Mane, Firmino and Salah are coming to the end of it now. Brilliant. Bastards are going to sign Diaz. I mean, you know, that's what they must be thinking. And then you've got Harvey Elliott and then you've got like Jota. So you're thinking to yourself now, oh, for fuck's sake, we've got to go through another 10 years of these now. And that's what I was thinking the other day, and I think, and I said this the other day, I think Klopp will stay. I actually think he'll stay because I reckon what will happen is this pandemic's been a load of shit, and it's, you know, he's seen football without fans. Got to remember when he said he would go, it was about a year and a half ago. I think once he starts seeing that Annie Road developing and it's full, and he's got Harvey Elliott's career to Diaz. He says Diaz is the most. He's never seen a footballer train as happy as he does. He loves him. I just think that maybe when he said he was going to leave, he probably knew the Mane, Salahs and Firminos were coming to the end, and he probably thought that's the best time to go. But now he sees we've got these players, he might be thinking, why would I leave when I've got more European Cups to win, more league titles?
I'd sell my arms and legs to having to stay, honestly. I was fucking close to tears last night when he done his fist pump because being brought up on the stories of Shankly, and it's like we're living through it. It's fucking weird. Everything my dad told me about Bill Shankly, it's like we're going through it all over again. I feel like it's deja vu with Jurgen Klopp. I feel like what he does, how he connects us to the players, I feel like I've already lived it because of my stories of my R fella. And it's just mad.
Bruce Grobbelaar says he's Shankly reincarnated.
Yeah, yes. I've never felt any connection to the club like this. Like, he's unbelievable. But again, why would he leave us? If he gets the German national job, he can take that when he's fucking 60 if he wants. You
just literally, Jay, you've just said my exact video when I said Klopp should stay. I actually did a video and I said, stay till he's 60. Stay till he's 60. Do not, I said, it's like I was trying to tell Jurgen myself in the message I sent him. I just said, Jurgen, you're more or less walking away from more European Cups. I said, you deserve, not need, deserve a dynasty like Bob Paisley. Like, you know, he needs to be leaving here with 3 European Cups and multiple titles. He can't leave here with 1 league and maybe 1 European Cup and a couple of domestic cups, where he can't leave with that. He needs to leave. His football deserves, and not just his football, the way he's conducted himself around the city, the way he fought against the Super League, the way that everything that he has done, he's just, there'll be statues of him outside the Anfield. I tell you what, the new Annie Road end, they should bloody put one there in a few years. But all I'm saying is he leaving now. What's he, 53, 54?
Yeah, something like that.
Have another 6 years. Go and take the Germany job when you're 60, and then just piddle out in international football like Queiroz, that Carlos Queiroz is doing and all that. Do that until you're in your 70s if you love football that much. But don't leave now. He can't leave in 2 years. He's got too much to win.
I can't see him going. Even when he said he was going to, I just thought to myself, he's staying. He's not going to go. Like you said, he's building something. He's already built something special. But to be able to then build on top of what he's already built, and it's looking like it's going to be fucking just as special, is phenomenal. I don't think he'll go. I think he'll stay. I think he'll.
My saving grace is with him saying, I don't know what game it was after, but he said if he'd have known this club was this special, he'd have wanted to join earlier. And he's lost 2 years of his time here due to COVID. He's lost that thing he loves about football, the fans, the atmosphere, the buzz when you score, the fucking size when you concede. He lost all that for 2 years. I think he'll want to give us that back. I really do.
Jake, that is exactly my point in being. The point is, he's tasted football now. That pandemic took away everybody's life in terms of what they enjoyed, right? So we went through 2 years of complete pissing boredom without everything being great. So nobody wants to rest now. Everybody wants to go on holiday more. They want to go and do things more because they got it took from them. People are going to the gym more. People are flying abroad more. People are spending more of their savings because they realise now that, you know, that was a shit period. So now this is what I'm saying. He's lost 2 years. Stay till he's 60. So what's that? If he leaves in 2 years, 2.5 years, yeah, another 4-year contract or something like that. And then he can piss off, have a year sabbatical, and then take the Germany job at 6 there.
Yeah. You can
well, lad.
You listening, Jürgen?
Sounds easy when you say it like that, doesn't it? No, look, let's hope he stays as long as possible. You know, him and Milner will be here forever, as far as I'm concerned. Milner's never leaving. He's got his own door in the training ground now, so that's him staying for good. But look, the league's taking care of itself, it seems, at the minute. We're on an absolutely unbelievable roll. But obviously, switch our attentions to Sunday. I can't remember the last time I really thought of a League Cup game as a big game, but this is what we've wanted under Klopp since he's been here, is getting to a domestic final. He's took it seriously, and yeah, there's been criticisms of him over the years that he hasn't took the domestic competition seriously. That's out the window now. We've got to the final. We've pissed our way to the final. We made it look easy, barring the home leg against Arsenal. And I don't see how Chelsea beat us. I really don't. We're better than them in every position. Kelleher, I'm made up for him. Absolutely made up for him because he got us through against Leicester. He saved the day against Leicester, and he deserves it. He's improved so much. I remember when he started in the league last season against, I think it was Tottenham, the first game with a few fans back, and he looked a bit shaky, but he played well. The shakiness has gone out of his game. He looks like a primed and ready top-class goalkeeper, and he deserves this final. Yeah, he does. Just to follow up on that, I was at the League Cup final in 2016 when Klopp lost, and I was devastated. There's nothing worse. I always say that a lot of people say they're not bothered about. Listen, I'm bothered about winning trophies. I mean, I was even a bit pissed off when we lost the Community Shield. I mean, obviously not as bad as the League Cup, because who wants to go all the way down to London, travel all the way down there on Sunday? Right, and you get there and you see Wembley and you get in there 90,000, you see the trophy, and there's nothing worse than when you lose, because when we lost on penalties to Man City, seeing all them Mancs celebrating, it hurts. So it'll be no different to it on Sunday. Who doesn't want to win a trophy? 90,000 seater sellout at Wembley, and the point is, it stops barren runs. Manchester United are nearly 6 years without a trophy, right? I don't want a barren run again. I mean, last season we didn't win anything. So what I love about the League Cup is if you look at Liverpool's great seasons, it's always started off with a League Cup win.
You know, if you go back to 2001, winning that made us go on and win the FA Cup. Then we won the Europa League or the UEFA Cup after that. You know, I remember the games when we won 2-0 against Man United. Brilliant. Michael Owen scoring, Steven Gerrard scoring, the long range, it was great. I mean, Wembley's what we grew up as kids. I mean, I'm 38 next week. I used to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning on Wembley days when the FA Cup build-up was on all day. Remember that? That was amazing, wasn't it? To me, Wembley is Anfield South, and that's why I love it. You want to see Brett Road? I'm just living around the corner from it now. All the flags are out again, Anfield South, Anfield South. That's what Liverpool's history is all about.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
It's massive. It's a momentum builder in February as well. To win that cup in February, it can be season defining because you're like the likes of now. We just twatted Leeds 6-0. Man City have lost the grip. They had one hand on the cup and they've lost it. Their hands fell off it and we're chasing and we're breathing down the necks. The players are on a high. Win that cup at Wembley, celebrate it with your fans, go and have a bevy, and then your business resumes. And that's what it's about. But that's you making a statement. We're not fucking moving. We want everything. We want every trophy. What you're saying about Klopp disrespecting it, not you personally, people saying he's disrespecting it. We've never had the squad to be able to field a great side in every cup competition, and that's why he's done what he's done. Now, as Neil said earlier, we've got like backup in every position, bar and probably right back, and you can mix it up a bit now and still batter teams. So yeah, I think we're taking it very seriously. He's right to play at Callaghan instead of Alisson because he's been there throughout it all. Yeah. And then other than that position, I don't think he'll swap anything. He'll go full strength. No, I'm not going to give any predictions or anything because Chelsea are a top-class side. We are better than them on paper, but they tore us apart at Anfield.
I can feel extra time. I've got a horrible feeling.
We struggled against them at Anfield. I think if we start fast, we can blow them away. If we try and get it done early, like Man City do to teams, hit them for 15 minutes non-stop, relentless, like we started against Leeds. If we do that to them, I think they'll fall apart. But we've got to be careful as well because our high line is dangerous for us.
Yeah, it is dangerous. But you look at the stats and you've seen pundits trying to say that it doesn't work and that we're living dangerously. Yeah, you've got to live dangerously in today's game, but how fast it is. But you look at the amount of times we've caught teams offside. The Leeds goal last night offside. We've caught teams offside over 100 times this season. The next closest is City, but like 60. So
no, I seen Ferdinand analyse because I was critical of it, to be honest. Because do you know what's more makes you angry is the offside rule. Is that the linesman doesn't
delay flag.
So you got Van Dijk chasing, but I criticised Van Dijk saying he looked lethargic and lazy. And then when Ferdinand analysed it and he actually dissected it and he said he's not going to sprint back because he's got that much belief in his system that he doesn't need to. He knows that they're offside, so he just leaves it be. And 9 times out of 10 they are. So
part of the reason why he doesn't break sweat half the time because he's so clever. He's so clever up here. He reads the game unbelievably. I mean, that 1-on-1 stat that Ferdinand showed you as well. That people just don't even try and take him on. They just think, and they're looking for an option. Oh, someone please, I can't run at Van Dijk because you can imagine what that must look like. I mean, I remember when we played Man United. And I was watching the game on the telly and I looked and I just said to my mate Craig, I went, just look at them two at the back, Canate and Van Dijk. They are giants. You could just you could see Trent and you could see Robbo and you just see these. You just think, can you imagine being a centre forward trying to play, running at them two? Because Canate's a beast as well. He's a size of it. So, honestly.
But again, Matip's not small, but. When Van Dijk came back from injury, as I say, he looked a little bit lethargic. And then when I seen the analysis of it all over a period of time, it wasn't lazy. It was belief in the system.
Yeah.
There was once I've seen him chase back, and it was because he had his back to Matip, and he didn't know whether Matip had played him onside or not, and he got back, and it was offside. But massive believer that at this moment in time, Matip is right up there alongside Van Dijk as the best centre half. There's not a player like him. He's unbelievable.
Say we got him on a free Bosman.
Crazy.
It's unfair, isn't it?
Mazy runs he does. they're a bonus onto his game. Like my dad says to me, he's like Alan Hansen, and people have started calling him Jockey now because he's like Alan Hansen. But it's his defending. I've never got an issue if the ball's going behind him or it's going in the air or it's going over him. He just finds a way. He finds a way to get rid of it. And I do think he's right at this moment in time. He's right on par with Van Dijk.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's the price tag can sometimes make you think more, because you think Van Dijk costs 75 million, but Matip costs nothing. But that doesn't make Matip a worse defender. It just means Liverpool got a great deal. And it's like anything. It's like I think to myself, can you imagine, like, say, United again as an example, but Harry Maguire cost 80 million. We got Matip on a free, Konate for 30 million pounds. I mean, two centre halves, 50 million cheaper than they got one. I mean, it's just.
He's like a fucking Sunday league player, isn't he?
This is what I'm saying. And again, it goes back to, the FSG. Out people I never get when it comes to our transfer strategy. It's unbelievable how we just go and get. I mean, 30 million these days. There was 30 million being paid in Rio Ferdinand's day and Robbie Fowler's days and all that. I mean, to get players now, elite football players for 30 million is unbelievable. Do you know what I mean? This market in this day and age. I mean, you're getting Sancho going for 70 million, even Van der Beek, 40 million, 50 million. 50 million now is like what you're paying for a decent player, really, in terms of the market. It's a joke.
Pocket money, isn't it?
It's pocket money. This is what I'm saying. It's like we have the best transfer strategy. And even Klopp should have nailed all them FSG outers in terms of transfers now, because what he said was, I didn't want anybody in the January window. I was quite happy to wait till the summer. But then when I found out Tottenham were trying to get Diaz, I went, right, make the move. That tells me Klopp's in charge of the transfers, and he just goes, right, bring it forward. I want him now. So down to me, I don't think Klopp wants a big squad like Man City. I think he's even now probably thinking he needs to cut off. I reckon I wouldn't be surprised if more go out in the summer than come in, because he likes to have a tight unit squad. Klopp's always been like that. And what's the point in spending £60 million on the academy if we're not going to use it? And it's been proven this season. The academy's been amazing. Tyler Morton. How many lads have made debuts?
Yeah.
Well, he said it himself, Klopp, hasn't he? That like the likes, if we'd went out and bought a centre mid and everyone was desperate, or if we'd have bought a right winger for AFCON, Harvey Elliott wouldn't have got a game. And now Harvey Elliott's going to excel with us because he's brilliant. And you've got to, as a manager, you've got to take a risk and you've got to believe in your academy. And he's brought quite a few through, hasn't he? So let's just stick to what we know. The FSG outers are absolutely fucking brain dead. There's no point in them. They haven't got a clue. They see football like Football Manager. They want to go and buy the names. Like we said it before about Nat Phillips and that. They were complaining we didn't buy a centre half. If we'd have bought Nat Phillips for fucking 60 million during the transfer window, they'd have been hailing him as a genius. But instead, they moaned that we kept with him because it wasn't a signing. It's just stupidity.
I know. And it's just absolute mad heads, isn't there? But that's what I'm saying. It's like you can't argue with our system of how we bring through players and everything. It's amazing, and it's why now you don't actually think Liverpool, when they sign a player, you don't actually worry, is he going to be any good? You just know he's going to be great, because you know he's going to run and fucking run, because that's what all Klopp players do. He's going to be technically good, and he's going to listen to Klopp. You know, it's honestly, and going back to the League Cup final thing, he's never, what you said there about he hasn't taken it seriously. I agree with you. He has not had the squad, but not just that. Liverpool have not won the league for 30 years. He was not going to risk getting Mo Salah or anybody injured in a domestic cup until he got that monkey off the back. Now we've won that league title and stopped 30 years. I think he's now gone, oh, maybe I can go for the domestic cups. You know what I mean? It's so important we won the league first before fucking anything. And I think Klopp put all of his eggs into that basket and went, right, fuck it. We're going to win the league before we go on and try and win the FA Cups and the League Cups. Because you know what our fans are like. If we wanted to put a strong team out against Chelsea in the League Cup or something, Salah goes and does his knee and he's out for the season, then they'll say, well, that's why we didn't win the league, because you fucking played Salah in the cup. You can't win.
No, you can't win.
And like you said,
on one hand, you've got someone who wants to win everything, and on the other hand, you've got people who just want to go for one trophy.
That's it. And
at the end of the day, we're Liverpool Football Club. Now we've got a squad that can compete on all fronts. We should be battling for them, and rightfully Klopp has. So So all we can do now is.
I just want to say this, Jay. You won't believe what was put on my group the other day. I couldn't believe it. This bloke put, "Would you swap Mbappe for Salah at the end of the season?" And I went, "Are you serious? Are you fucking? He seriously wanted us to swap Mo Salah for Mbappe." I mean, that tells you all about, like you just said, Football Manager FIFA fans.
Fucking brain dead. They're fucking thick. I just don't even entertain them anymore. They annoy me.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Really are.
Twitter's the worst for it. Twitter is just full of absolute fucking
Salah is.
I'm a bit concerned over Mo Salah because I know as the FSG strategy is, I don't think they'll upset the apple cart with like a 400 grand contract. But I think sometimes in certain situations, if you got all the team together and you went, right, Van Dijk, you're on 220, Matip, you're on 100, Mane, you're on 200. Does any of you oppose us giving 400 grand to the best player on the planet? Not one of them players will say no. They'll all say, fucking give him what he wants. He's the best player in our team.
This is why I worry about it, Jay, because again, I'll go back to the film Moneyball. They use the same statistics in that to go and find the next Diaz, to go and find this, that, and the other. So what their module is it was on TalkSport the other day. Pep Guardiola has cost Man City £1 million a point in terms of what he spent. Klopp has cost Liverpool 200 grand a point, right? So the difference in finances there is huge. So if it goes back to their system, their module FSG is they'll look at it and go, he's got 2 years left on his contract. By then he'll be 32, 33 years old. That wages, we'll go and get the next Mo Salah because we've got a proven history of that. No, listen, I don't want that to happen, but that's how they think, FSG. They don't think I'm going to upset the apple cart and I'm going to pay him 400 grand a week, because then that puts their Moneyball module down the window, because then they're doing what rival clubs are doing, which is paying 400 grand a week, 500 grand a week, and that just isn't their way. So that's what I worry about. The only way Salah will sign is if Klopp threatens to walk if he doesn't get the contract signed, in my opinion, because Klopp has a lot of power with FSG and the fans. The fans are going mad. And the fact is, we're not all these idiots. We're not getting Erling Haaland, who wants £1 million a week in wages. Absolute joke, right?
Don't need him. Don't fucking need him. Got Jota, he's better.
Exactly. Or we don't need Mbappe. But the problem is with our fans is that's who they would want to come in if Salah went. Salah's not going to go. He'll sign. The only way is I think he'll have to take a deal where, you know, if we win trophies, he'll get, say if we won the Champions League, he gets a couple of million here and there. But I can't see him getting 400 grand a week basic. No.
So I think his agent, if his agent goes into that office and he's playing Moneyball, he can say, would you have won the league, the Champions League, the World Cup? Would you have won it without Mo Salah? Would we? Fuck, we wouldn't have. We literally wouldn't have. So they've got an argument. He is the best player. He's currently the best player on the planet. He probably has been for 2 or 3 years. But because he's not Ronaldo or Messi, he hasn't been acknowledged. He has been. So on that front, sometimes you've just got to say, if we were signing him now at this age with what he's done in the Premier League, if we were signing from Man City, you're talking over 100 million just to sign him, even at 30 plus his wages. So we need to accept that he's already ours. We've got him for fucking buttons. We got him for like 20, 30 mil. Yeah. Pay the man what he deserves.
I think he'll sign in the summer. But I think what will happen is he will become Liverpool's highest paid player without a shadow of doubt. But what they'll probably do is, listen, like I say, Klopp keeps saying, that, look, there's nothing going on. The talks are going well. The proof is like you just said. We go and win the Champions League again this season and the league. How much money do we make? We make tons. We haven't made that money yet. So when we do make that money, tons of money for winning the league, tons of money for winning the Champions League, if we do, then there's FSG now. They've got no way to go because they can't say they can't pay the wages because they've just made tons of money. So I reckon that's what FSG are not rushing for. They're just going to wait. They'll wait to see what we win this season. If we go and win that, there you go. Salah's goals has just won us that, like you just said, Jay. He's just won us that. He's just won us that because of his goals. Okay, give him what he wants. If we're winning the leagues, because they're businessmen, they're making tons of money that way. So, I mean, this is FSG. When I spoke to a guy today, they're selling the bricks from the old Anfield Road end. They're selling them.
They sold the seats. People have owned the seats for 30 years in the main stand. Asked if they could have them. They charged them fucking 3 ton.
I mean, we could just give them away. You know, just give them away. No, we're not. They'd make pounds out of anything. But
Yeah.
that's right. So I
That's why
reckon.
we're a successful business, though, and people will pay it. It's the end of the day. People will pay it, and as long as people do, it's the same with touts. We moan about touts, but you've got lads who are saying "fuck off" touts and that all over the internet, and then putting on the same post, "We'll pay 1,200 for 2 tickets for Wembley." It's their fault why there's touts. If we all just fucking boycotted them, then they're stuck with fucking 10 tickets, and they've lost loads of dough. But it's one of them. I think I think Salah. I remember A&A years ago discussing like a basis, a structure of the wages, and it was like for so many games played, for so much distance covered. So when you were saying for like Van Dijk was on 250 grand, just as an example, if he never played, he might only get 125 grand. But if he plays and he hits a certain distance and he makes so many clearance, wins so many duels and all that, it's all counted for. That's why they wear them vests, is to calculate what they've done on the day-to-day basis. So do the same with Salah. 200 grand basic, 50 grand a goal, 150 grand every fucking hat-trick or whatever. Just
That's it. You just don't have to bang it all on a basic salary. You could just say, like you just said, they're 50 grand a goal. Fucking hell, you get about 200 grand a fucking week just off goals.
That's it. Even the
He would.
Not even that though.
Wimbledon done it with Fashion You. He hadn't scored for about fucking a year. They gave him a contract. I think it was 10 grand a goal. He scored 18 on the bounce or something.
They had to put him on the bench afterwards then, yeah.
But that's it. I mean, you don't even have to do it in terms of bonuses like that. You could just give him fucking, if we go and win the Champions League in the league, we would gain however much we do from that. Just give him a fucking massive signing on bonus. If he's that bothered about money, go, all right, yeah, here's your 200 grand a week. I'm going to give you a fucking 10 mil fucking signing on bonus. Something like that. Something stupid.
That's it, Jay.
I don't think it's Salah, though. I don't think
it's Salah.
With Mo Salah and said, what?
His agent.
He'd be like, I'm not asked.
It's all agents.
His agent.
He hasn't got like that Mino Raiola.
One thing I will say, though, is this is what's really important that people always forget. Mo Salah is great because he's playing in a great Liverpool team as well. Let's not forget that if you watch the AFCON, he fucking struggled to get the ball off the time because he hasn't got the players around him. So what I'm saying is Salah knows he's playing. He's a world-class striker, but he knows he's playing in a team that he's going to have the ball shitloads more. He's going to have chances shitloads more because of the way we play. Trent's, how many goals does he assist? You know, he's not going to have Trent if he left Liverpool. The difference is he's got everything to be, got a Ballon d'Or winner and everything at Liverpool right now. So his career is best if he stays at Liverpool. Going to Real Madrid now, they're shite now. Barcelona are shite now. You know what I mean? He's not going to be the same player. So if I look at it like this, if it comes down to 50 grand a week or 25 grand a week, just take the fucking contract that they're offering. The good news is they're offering him a contract. It's not as if they're saying no contract. It's just whether Mo goes, do you know what? I love this club. I'll win the Ballon d'Or here because he fucking will and get it signed. And I will stick my neck out on the line now and say that he'll do it in the summer after we've won about 3 or 4 trophies in the next few weeks.
Yeah. And I think, to be fair, what it proves with Salah is what Klopp said before Coutinho left. And, if you go to another team, you'll just be another player. If you stay at Liverpool, you'll be an icon. You'll be remembered forever. And he's proven that now. Second fastest player to 150 goals behind Roger Hunt for a winger. He's a fucking winger. He's not even a striker.
How many goals is he? Unreal. How many goals is he away from all-time top scorer for Liverpool? How many goals?
Probably about 200, I'd say. I think all time is about 346.
It's Ian Rush in it, 345 or something, isn't it?
Something like that, yeah.
So I don't think he's that far behind. You could see him doing it. He's still got, if he signs a new contract, you're talking another 4 years, 5 years. He gets 30 a season.
Definitely not outside the realms of possibility. I'd be surprised if he did do it and fucking made up for him. Yeah. It certainly could happen. He's that good. And like you say, yeah, he fits the system well. But I mean, you're not going to get another player like him in our lifetime. Not how good he's been for Liverpool, not the records he's breaking. Like I say, second fastest to 150 goals for the club. It's like, you talk some of the players we've had in that time, in our history, Ian Rush, Robbie Fowler, Michael Owen, fucking
Suarez.
Torres, Suarez, and he's obliterating all their records. I think he's going to eventually be only behind Rush before he leaves Liverpool.
Mad that I don't feel like he gets anywhere near the credit even from our fans and that.
He doesn't.
That he deserves.
And do you know what's incredible? He's never fucking injured. He's never fucking injured either. Never injured. He's never injured.
Touch wood. I know.
You know what?
Just like Suarez. Suarez is never injured.
Just about to say that. He's just one of them players. He wants to play football that much that he probably is injured half the time, and he's just not arsed. He's like, no, I'm playing.
Yeah.
And you need players like that. You need players with that desire, that hunger, because that's all they've known. Him and, you think of Suarez growing up in Uruguay, Salah growing up in Egypt, the backgrounds, the upbringings probably aren't sort of all that dissimilar. All they had was football to rescue them. And so they just want to play week in, week out. And that's why Salah will be going until he's 35, 36, same with Suarez.
Do you know what people go on about Ronaldo's physique? He's 36 now, he's in great shape, he's fucked, he can't run, he can't play, but he's got a great body. Mo Salah is in better nick than Ronaldo by a fucking mile. Doesn't show it off all the time.
Hey, James Milner's in better nick than Ronaldo.
He's like a machine, him. But I just think Mo Salah, he doesn't get appreciated for his, I think he'll be going for, as you say, 35, 36. He could exceed it. Ronaldo said he wants to play till he's 40. Now, Mo Salah is better now than I think Ronaldo was when he was 31. He's still doing it at the top level in the Premier League, smashing all the records still. Yeah. We're not the same team without him. So you just got to give him what he wants, and hopefully it gets sorted.
Yeah.
Do you think it's got something to do with the fact that we've got 3 amazing strikers? Why he doesn't get adored?
Possibly. It's the system.
If it had just been the only one we had, he'd be a god, wouldn't it?
Oh, he should be a god.
His goals winning.
Again, it's the likes of Mane. Mane's had a rough season. He had a rough end to last season as well. Yeah. But when he turns it on, that lad, he's fucking unplayable. He's brilliant. Yeah. I love him. I love seeing Mane down the middle now and again. It's like the love for players filters out. Mane hardly gets his name sung anymore. But at one point, it was fucking for 90 minutes. Oh, Mane, non-stop. Know what I mean? Salah, he got a great ovation when he came back from the AFCON. And that's what I was going to say. The way he handled that, just lost in the final, that would have been his proudest moments ever as a proud Egyptian. Lost the final, had the day off and flew back home to train. And was ridiculous.
And he was pissed off when Klopp said he couldn't start, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And that's just the type of player he is. Speaking of, just touching on the AFCON, I think if it's true, it's a great touch by Mane saying, I don't want any recognition for me winning the African Cup of Nations, because he knows how much Salah will still be earning from it. And that's the thing. There's always been the rumours, they don't get on, they don't like playing with each other. Do they fuck? You don't do that for your teammate unless you're fucking absolutely like the closest with them, you know what I mean? If he's actually done that, it's a fucking unbelievable gesture. And Mo wouldn't have asked him to do that. That'd be completely on Mane. Salah would want to congratulate him, I think, as well.
Yeah. I was interested yesterday to see what happened, because Mane asked Salah for the second penalty.
Did he?
Yeah, he just before he was stood over the ball, and Salah told him to move, and Mane was the first one to him when he put it in. So that's the difference as well. I don't think
down to him.
Mane hadn't scored at that point, had he? That was to make it 3-0. So I think he wants the goal, and Salah told him to fucking do one. But that's right. That he should be doing that.
Yeah. He's designated penalty taker. So
and just Mane's goal he got himself in the top 3 goal scorers now. So we've got the top 2 assists and the top 3 goal scorers.
Top 3 in both.
If we don't win this league, honestly.
Do you know what, Jay? I just want to ask you what your thoughts on this, mate. Why does everybody cream Man City? Why? I can't understand why people think they have a better squad than us. I don't think they do, right? And also, why are they favourites for the Champions League when they've never won it? Every fucking season they're favourites for the Champions League. Right, this is Man City with no strikers, by the way. So why they got a better squad than us? You telling me that they haven't got Salah, they haven't got Mane, they haven't got Jota, they haven't got flipping, Diaz. So I don't know why squad's supposedly apparently better than ours. I don't think it is. And I've said this a few weeks now. that Pep will get found out for not having a striker this season. I said it. And it started in the Tottenham game. They haven't got a killer striker, and it's going to come back to haunt them. I reckon they will lose the league and the European Cup this year based on the fact that he hasn't got a centre forward.
Yeah, I agree. At one point, I did say to Quinny when it was just the two of us, like, look at their squad compared to ours, and like for like, all we had at the time through fitness was Costas. He could replace Robertson. And then Jota, Firmino was back fit, so we had Jota and Firmino. Now we've got Diaz in, so Diaz and Mane. Now we've got Elliott back and Elliott and Salah. The midfield's all fit. You've got the six of them. It was mad. It was like Diaz came in and our whole squad, just someone waved the magic wand and everyone was just fit. And then it went from, we've signed Diaz, and now look at our fucking squad all of a sudden. We are like for like. Everywhere, all over the pitch. It's fucking
That's
brilliant.
what I mean. I was looking the other day at two lineups and I thought, all right, I'll tell you what then. Man City's best 11 and Liverpool's best 11. I still think we've got a better 11. I just generally do. Alisson, Edison. Alisson, Edison, Alisson. Trent or their right back. I don't even know. It's Cancelo in it.
Cancelo.
Trent, right?
Yeah.
Virgil. Yeah, Virgil and Matip over there, two centre-backs. I don't know. Well, Robertson better than their left-back. Midfield three. All right, they got Kevin De Bruyne. And this is what I was thinking the other day. Their midfield three, yeah, all right. Gundogan Odin's no different to what Ronaldo was when we had him, or what, obviously Harvey. But there's no front three. So then how do you compare it? That's what I'm saying. I personally think that we have a better first 11 than them. What it is they've just been able to, dictate the ball a lot and obviously keep the ball. And they beat teams just by passing them to death. I think it's Guardiola's football which has won them the games in a way more than
I think Guardiola's got this system. All the pressure on Man City's side, as you just said. Like before the Tottenham game, the commentator actually said, it's just a matter of time. The runaway champions. He entered them onto the pitches and here's the runaway champions. After the game, the fucking title was like that, closed. The gap's gone. So I don't get the love in. The press loved them. The commentators loved them. The referees loved them. They've had as many penalties in the last 4 or 5 games as we've had in 20 months. It's a fucking joke. I think when teams play them, they respect them too much. They're scared to attack them. And you can't let Man City attack you for 90 minutes.
That's what I mean. It's the football, isn't it? It's the way they play. I mean, I don't know if you see...
Tottenham attacked them 3 times and exposed them 3 times.
Exactly.
About 4 times. They scored 4 goals. And one was disallowed. If you don't show them the respect, you can beat them. And Southampton have showed that. They took points off them. I fucking hope Everton turn up because they'll be in the relegation zone by the time they play them Saturday.
Especially with Burnley winning yesterday. Burnley winning yesterday. They're shit. Well, this is. I don't know if you've seen this, boys, but last week, Jeff Sterling more or less closed the title. He basically went to Clinton Morrison and all the panel. He went, well, the league's done now. Do you think the league's done? And Clinton Morrison actually stuck up for us and went, the league ain't done. It's nowhere near done. I said, Liverpool can win this. And he called it. He said, Tottenham could get some at his City. And he called it and he said, before you know it, Liverpool are back in the title. They all laughed at him. And Jeff Sterling, the thing is, though, they've played Liverpool away. They've played Man United away. They've played, they started reeling off all the teams Man City had played away. And he just wrote off all the next few games that Man City had got. So what I'm saying is, you're right, the media lick their arses like they're going to just win another 10 in a row, 12 in a row. The Premier League is ruthless. I mean, Burnley are going to go on a run now. They're amazing. You've got Palace. I actually really like Crystal Palace under Patrick Vieira. Man City got to go away to them. West Ham are flying under David Moyes. They've still got them. They've got to go to Everton on fucking Saturday, and Everton are fighting for their lives. There's loads of points that they can still lose in the next few games.
By no means, I don't think we're going to win every game. I think we're not going to win every game. You've got to be realistic. But I don't think they are. So you just got to. It's going to be neck for neck, nose for nose, right till the end. It's going to be like that for the championship. It's going to be like that for the title. It's going to be like that for the top 4, and it's going to be like that for the relegation zone. It's going to be one hell of an end to the season.
Oh, it is.
And
yeah,
shaping up nicely, isn't it?
It's draws that's killed us. We've lost less games than Man City.
Always is draws.
It's just the draws that's killed us. And
Fucking hate
I think
them.
now, if we can stay injury free, or at least fucking have a little bit of luck with injury, win that cup Sunday, we'll be fucking flying. As I say, Everton are absolute dog shit. They're absolutely dog shit. But if anything, Tottenham, who are dog shit, have taught other teams a lesson that if you fucking try and get in behind Man City, you can. Tottenham might as well have played with Son and Kane. That was it. That's all I've seen in their eyes.
Yeah, that was it. It was only them two doing any damage.
Now, Everton have got Gray, Townsend, Richarlison, fucking
Calvert-Lewin.
Got speed. They've got speed. They've got a Calvert-Lewin. He's not a Harry Kane, but in physicality, someone who's going to hold the ball up, win the ball. He's got a chance of doing it. He's got a chance of roughing them up. Gray and Townsend coming in behind. Now, I never want to see Everton Southampton. But I'm wearing a blue and white scarf.
Southampton had a go at them, didn't they? Last week I watched it. Southampton had a right go at Man City. They're there to be having a go at. And that's what I'm saying. Good, like I said, Everton could throw this game like they've done for years every time because they're normally sat comfortably mid-table, can't win a fucking thing to the side. But this time they can't. And I think that Everton will get a draw. I think it'll be a draw. I reckon they'll nick Smith.
To be honest, it'd be the most Everton thing ever to go and beat City and then lose fucking every other game the rest of the season.
Well, that's what they do. He battered Leeds for them, so they can do us one now. As I say, I think if teams just sit in that dressing room and go, Man City aren't that good, like they do against us, teams come and have a fucking go with us. Norwich had a go with us. They come out their own half. They try to hit us on the counter. If teams stop respecting Man City that much, the media stops licking their ass and everyone just goes, these aren't as good as we fucking make them feel. Let's see how they go. Yeah. Because they've got everyone behind them. It's like when Leicester won the league, like a small club who you're not expecting. That's how everyone portrays Man City. As you said, like fucking 800 grand per fucking point.
I mean, you think the neutral wants Liverpool to win it because they're not fucking absolutely run by oil money. Do you know what I mean? But they don't. They'd rather City win it than us.
See, everyone hates us because they can't be us. The way
That's it.
But Man City are just another club with loads of dough, and that's the way football's going. But unfortunately, you've got a manager like Jurgen Klopp and a team like ours going, it's not going to be as easy. And when people talk about the foreign leagues, the Scottish League, the Spanish League, the German League, the Italian League, the French League, there's a runaway winner every year. And without Liverpool Football Club, the Premier be the exact same. So when people go on about the Prem being special and all that, this season it is, but without us again, City have pissed the league.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you're right.
That's it. We're the only things keeping it competitive. No, like you say, I mean, the league overall shaping up to be a fucking unbelievable end of the season. And, hopefully, if we can crown it with a league title and Everton going down, fucking hell.
The first ever double parade. Two Premier Leagues on there.
Everton would still claim it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, when
Tottenham
scored that third to the day, mate, I never fainted. I honestly. No, when you just get that feeling that, as I say, when we were 12 points behind, I thought things like this don't happen to Liverpool. We don't claw Leeds back in title races like this. We never have.
Yeah.
You can say 86 when we done the double, but we had games in hand and all that. But I just didn't feel like it was. I had belief that it could happen. But in reality, I was thinking, these aren't going to lose a game. They're fucking horrible.
Jay, it's like you said, your dad said, you're now witnessing your own Shankly days with Klopp.
Yeah. And it's just special. And as soon as, once that goal went in for Kane, when Kane scored that, and I hate that cunt. I don't even know.
I hate him as well.
I fucking hate him. But I'll tell you what, I'll never say a bad word about him again because he worked his fucking ass off and he played like the player we know he can be. He wasn't fucking diving around and all that. He was battling. And I thought, good on you, lad. Wish he could fucking speak, but good on you.
I'm not ashamed to say I celebrated that goal going in as if it was Liverpool's goal.
Everywhere.
Lad, I did. I grabbed me dad. My dad's not too good on his legs at the minute, and he keeps going fucking dizzy. And my dad fainted back into his chair. My dad was like this in the chair, and it just that's what football does to you. The shit time we've had in my family in the last 5 months, fuck me. And the only thing that can solve all that is football, and it's madness what it does. For 90 minutes, you forget the world. And me and my dad I
said that. I don't think I would have got through the pandemic without football. If they'd have cancelled that for 2 years, I'd have been done.
It's mad, honestly.
Even without fans, it would have been bad. Just imagine if they just cancelled football altogether. It would have been horrible, wouldn't it?
Oh, fucking hell. Mate, it doesn't carry you through the toughest times, like. Since my mum passed away, I've took my dad to as many games we can get tickets for. And then what happened? My sister passed away in January. Fucking shops. Get a violin out for me, yeah. Play the Titanic. That happens, and it's harder for me dad because he see my sister every day and that. And then the football for 90 minutes, you just like
forget about everything, don't you?
Just forget about it.
It's lucky for us that we support such a club like Liverpool, where there's a lot of feeling and a lot of emotion. Like, fucking hell, if that had happened to me and I was a Blue, I'd be fucking joining them. I'd be off in the
It's horrible existence, isn't it, being a Blue?
Oh, you think life can't get worse? Fucking hell, here's Southampton 2-0.
And Watford beat the away in that, yeah.
Fucking hell. On that note, boys, I think that's enough to wrap it up on. But look, the final Sunday, we'll be back next week to talk about that because we'll have a trophy to celebrate, won't we? Let's be honest, boys.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But as I say, I'm loving Mane down the middle. I hope he plays the same team he played against Leeds plus Callagher. That's it. And I'm going to go for 2-0 the Reds.
Yeah, I'm not brave enough to give a prediction for this one. Unfortunately,
do it, Jay. Do it.
Extra time, and we'll win it.
I'll take anything. 1-0. I'm going 1-0. I'm being born.
We'll never do.
I'll take it.
We'll never do things easy, do they? So
no, we don't.
Neil? So what though it is, as we said earlier, our squad is so good at the moment. I don't know whether Reece James is back for them. That'll be a bit of a that make a bit of a difference for us getting in. He's a good player, but it's a chance to. These aren't the best. They're not in great form either. Lukaku couldn't hit a fucking barn door. He's shite. So you've got to go. These are here for the taking here. Let's make another statement. Let's go and win the cup in style. And
Did you see the stat? Did you see the stat? Sorry, on Lukaku the other day, he had 7 touches in Chelsea's last game.
Yeah, seen that.
The ball boy had 8.
On that note, cheers, Lukaku.
Yeah, On that note, Neil.
Yeah, cheers, boys.
Thanks as always, Jay. Great to have you back.
Lads.
Ta, mate. See you later.
Up the Reds.
Up the Reds.